My name is Nirupam. I am the editor-in-chief of the Underwater Photography Guide and a content creator at Bluewater Photo, a retailer for all things underwater photo and video. Today I'll be speaking with Anne de Souza from Light in Motion about some of the top underwater photo and video lights in the 2020 and 2021 lineup. Be sure to check the description for links and leave any comments if you have any questions. Let's get started.
I'm Annie. I'm the brand manager for Dive here at Light in Motion, and I wanted to thank European for the invitation to come here today and just go over a few of our, new improvements and some of our products. So here we are. So this is some of the pictures I personally took here in Monterey, California, with Light in Motion lights, of course. Some of the images were taken with the Sola Dive 1200, which is this first green image here with the kelp. Some of them were taken with the Sola Video Pro 15,000, like the jellies and the squid on top there. And some of them were taken with the Sola Video Pro 3800. So it truly depends on what is your focus, what is your budget, and what kind of features you're looking to photograph to get directed to the right lighting option. And in this video here, I'm mainly going over a few of our main features that are standard across the board for all our dive and underwater imaging lights. So it's mainly going over regulations. So what's the regulated output, underwater beam angle, and of course, battery life. So let's go ahead and just play this.
Hi, I'm Anne de Souza, underwater photographer and dive brand manager at Light in Motion. Every light can claim certain specifications. However, not all lights meet what's advertised.
Testing lights is important because sometimes advertising specifications are not exactly what a product lives up to.
To confirm lumens, we use a light integrating sphere, where we record the light output over time.
The light integrating sphere measures the total light output from the lighting unit. Whether it's a flashlight or an underwater dive light or a bicycle light, it measures all of the light coming out of the unit.
Many lights may start with a high lumen output, but quickly fall off.
So the way that you can tell on We Test lights whether or not a light is regulated is you look at the output lumen graph over time. And if it's a nice straight graph, that indicates that it's regulated. If you see it kind of dip down or curve, you know that that's not a regulated light.
When the light is placed underwater, the beam angle narrows by 30 degrees. By adding a dome port, underwater lights can gain back those lost 30 degrees.
A well-designed dome in front of the light corrects for the index of refraction change between air and water, such that the beam angle in water will end up being pretty close to the same as it is in air.
For wide-angle photography, you want to maximize the beam angle to avoid vignetting and to cover the entire subject, even when using a fisheye lens. For more information on light spec performance, go to retestlights.com.
Yeah, so this was mainly just a quick video to go over, a few of the points that are very important for videographers and photographers to consider when they're purchasing their new light. One of the big things we can probably say is that all our lights are regulated. So if we are claiming 15,000 lumens, we're gonna have that output through the entire time of the dive. So a few of their favorite models, these are not necessarily new, but are definitely the most popular units. Is the Sola Video 2500. So this one unit, it switches from the spot to flood mode. So from a 12-degree in spot to 60-degree in flood. And the lumen output will vary from 300 lumens at its lowest setting, and it will last for 240 minutes, all the way over to 2,500 lumens, and it will last for around 50 minutes on that setting. Then the same idea, we have models in the 1200, the 2000, and up to the 2500. So for the Sola lights that vary from spot to flood. The Sola Video 2500 is also a fast charge unit, which means that the charging time is reduced compared to the normal slow charge models. It charges in a total of 105 minutes, and is also compatible with the USB-C dongle, which we have right on the lower edge of the screen here. This is very good if you're on a trip and you can't carry a lot of things, so you can always just bring your USB-C dongle rather than the charger, and it's going to be compatible. You can charge it on your computer. This one unit is the Sola Photo 1200. So this is great as a focus light. Why is that? Is because it switches in between the flood white right here to the red light. And you would like to shoot with use a red light as a focus light because these rays are not detected by marine life. So you're able to not disturb marine life while you are photographing. So this is a great unit to start as a focus light. The floodlight usually it delivers 1200 lumens in white and 300 lumens in red. And the total battery runtime is up to 70 minutes at the high lumen output of 1200 lumens.
Actually, I did have a question about the 1200. So when you're switching between the white light and the red light, is there kind of a quick and easy way to do that?
So this is the switch right here. We have this as a standard in all our dive lights. What you're gonna do is you're gonna push it forward once. You're gonna see the indicator LEDs turn green, okay? And you're gonna see the white floodlight. When you want to switch that to the red light, all you need to do is pull this lever backwards. And then it moves from white flood to red flood. And then you can change the intensity of the red and the white floodlight right here by pulling forward or backwards. That's how you change the intensity of the light. One unit is the Sola Video 2500. We have this unit also paired up with a tray that you can easily pair up with a GoPro system. The great thing about this unit is that, well, it's a very cost-effective unit compared to all others. It only has the flood mode rather than the spot. So right here, you can change the intensity just by pushing this lever, this slider forward again. All these lights also have the travel lockout system. And the way to activate this travel lockout system is by pushing the slider forward for 4 seconds. When you do so, the 3 LEDs on top here will start flashing red. So if you're ever going on a trip, you should always make sure that your light is on travel lockout mode, because that will avoid any potential problems that you may encounter if the light end up turning on in your luggage.
So do you know if a light like this would be allowed in a check-in bag?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So all these lights are allowed in the check-in bags. They have, because they are rechargeable and sealed, you're able to travel with them, and there are way less restrictions caused by loose batteries.
Okay. And then I was just wondering, so if I was going to be, looking for a focus light, would I want to look at the video flood? Because it is, you know, a lower power of lumen, so it might be good for a focus light, but it doesn't have that spotlight. Or would you recommend a different light for a focus light as well?
If you're using it as a focus light and you want to have the flexibility of shooting, you know, wide angle, and if you're also doing some macro work, I would recommend the spot floodlight. But that does not that doesn't mean that you cannot use the 2500 flood only as a focus light. You can also use that light. But by having the additional spot mode, that's gonna amplify your capabilities.
And off the top of your head, do you know what the difference is in price between that floodlight and the spot flood?
Yeah, so the 2500 flood here is gonna retail for $299.99. And the spot flood is going to retail for $499.99.
Okay, great, thank you.
And then for the photo 1200, since we're already talking about prices, this one retails for $279.99. So it's also a great, you know, cost-effective option. Now, just going over the Sola Video Pro 3800, we have this unit with the dome port or with the flat port. The dome port, you're going to be using that for wide angle work, and the flat port if you're more focused in macro. I personally love the 3800 because of the size. You're going to be using is the same body as the photo 1200s, and it has a lot more power than all the previous units. So the highest output is 3800 lumens. The battery at its highest will last for 50 minutes at the highest setting, and it will last for 200 minutes at the lowest setting of 950 lumens. This is also a fast charge light, so it's also compatible with the USB-C adapter. So if you have like many different lights that are fast charge model, all you need is the one USB-C and you're able to charge them all since they're compatible. The Video Pro 3800 has a 110-degree flood beam. So it's pretty wide, and the beam angle, it's measured underwater. So that's gonna be pretty wide and very nice for wide angle as well. Oh, another cool thing is that for the Sola Video Pro 3800, you don't have the LEDs on top here. You're gonna have the LEDs along the body. So the body is like almost translucent. It's made of a different material that allows you to see what is your battery life. So if it's green, you have a full battery. If it's orange, your battery is starting to get low. And if it's red, then you have a low battery. So you don't need to constantly look at the top here. You can easily just look at the side and see what is the battery life for that one unit.
So how long would it take to charge a light like this, or even the other lights with the USB-C adapter?
So that's gonna be 105 minutes if you're using the USB-C adapter, or the charger is the same. The only thing you need to be careful with is to purchase a high quality cable. Not all cables will provide the same amount of power that it needs. So if you're using a Google cable, those are usually pretty good and we trust them.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And this is how the USB-C looks. So it's this little piece that is connected to the back here. Very travel friendly, and it's very convenient to have that if you're trying to avoid different chargers and more things in your camera bag.
Just one quick question about charging. So are the chargers compatible between models, or are they all different sizes when you're not using the USB-C?
So we have three different, so for the 2L models, which are the 2-cell battery models, the small ones, we have 3 types of charger. The first one is only for the Sola Dive 800. The second one is for the Sola Dive 1200 all the way over to the Sola Video 2000. And then from the 2500 beyond, you're going to be using the fast charge charger. And the main difference is you see the back of the light here, the body. So over here, you're going to have a small little hole, a small little entrance for the slow charge models. And if you have a fast charge charger, the other hole is going to be punctured rather than this one. This is just to avoid to use different chargers on the wrong light. Now we're going to go over the 6L model, our new Sola Video Pro 15,000. This one unit now has a new dome port system that was that we redesigned. And the beam angle was increased from 110 degrees to 115 degrees. So now it's a slightly wider, which is, very good for wide shooters that want to, that soft drop on their photography. So that's one of the improvements of the new dome plate. And this is one of the videos that we just released.
Awesome. And guys, I know this is a Zoom quality video, but be sure to check that video out on YouTube. It's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, check it out. It's available on YouTube. If you just type Sola Video Pro 15,000, it should be the first one to pop up. The footage was taken by our ambassadors, Patrick Webster, a local diver, underwater photographer, and head of the social media of the Monterey Bay Aquarium here in Monterey. And the sea lions clips were captured from Maxwell Home up in British Columbia. Okay, and this is one of the quotes from another ambassador. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Paul Nicklin. The Sola Video Pro 15,000 is spectacular. We need to celebrate the growth of this incredible product. The only thing to improve is to make them run forever. So Paul Nicklin has been using the Sola Video Pro 15,000 for a while now. He just got the new dome ports and has been loving it so far. And one of the things that these high, these underwater photographers that are constantly exploring, environments that are extremely cold, and they need something that is reliable, that they need something that is going to be performing in these extreme environments. So having someone like them using and, speaking amazing things about our lives is just great, because we know that they really put them up to proof. They really test them out. One of my favorite things one of the favorite features I think is amazing about the Sola Video Pro 15,000 is that it has a modular system. So you're able to replace the domes in the field to its Bluewater dome or its topside head. So I'm going to be demonstrating how to do this right now. So this is the Sola Video Pro 15,000. What you want to do is to remove this bezel here. It's very simple. You disconnect the head, and then you will add the top side head. What makes it a top side head is it has a little vent here. So that's helping the light not to overheat when you're shooting above water. Connect this. And then there's a different bezel. It's branded with Sola Pro, which is another brand in Light and Motion. This is our camera line. And done. So now you can use this to do like any type of photo work or video work on top side as well.
Oh, I was just curious, do you know what the price difference is between, well, for each head?
So the Bluewater dome is just the dome itself. It doesn't come with a plate. So that one, it's $29.99. You can easily replace the blue dome just by removing this dome here from its plate. It's super simple too. And the top side head retails for $400. Let me open this up. It's $400 and something. That's one of the great things about this light. You know, it's one light that does it all. So, you know, you don't need to limit yourself to just underwater work. You can use this amazing light to do some amazing content. And for topside too, is like the only light that is like water resistant, rain resistant. The amount, like the creative work that you're able to do with this light is very unique. So we have a lot of different customers from like totally different areas shooting with like Stella lights or Aquaterra kit and doing underwater photo shoots, weddings, and portrait work. It's very flexible.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Do you find that you have topside videographers that are doing wildlife videography using those lights as well? So, because they're pretty powerful, so I'd assume that they'd be good in forests and different places where you have a lot of light coming from different angles.
Exactly. The great thing about using video lights rather than strobes in wildlife photography, you know, for topside is when you're shooting a strobe, you're scaring that animal. We have our ambassador for topside. His name is Mark Edward Harris, and he did some amazing work with gorillas. And he said that the only lights he could use to do portraits, the portraits of the gorillas, was the Stella light. So it truly helped him to get that unique result for his images.
Okay, that's awesome. So when it comes to, do you think you could show me real quick what it looks like when you're changing the power on the lights? And is it a continuous change, or are there set lumens that are at each power setting?
Yeah, so right now we have the topside version, but it's just so it's safe to use out here. So this is the on and off button. You're gonna turn on the button. It has a LED display in the back here where you have access of how much battery do you have and what is the lumen output that your light is delivering at any certain moment. I really like that the display in the back really allow us to, you know, like we're shooting underwater, you have all the information you need just by looking at the back of the light.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Okay, so if you push the slider forward, the light turns on. Right now is at 4,000 lumens and we have 120 minutes left. And over here, you can decrease the lumen output from 500 lumens all the way over to 15,000 lumens. So you can really control what kind of lumen output you're delivering depending on your needs.
Oh, so how many lumens does it adjust by for each step?
After the it goes from 500 lumens to 1500 lumens. So every 1,000 lumens.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the 500 lumen setup, you have 996 minutes to run with this light underwater. So you have a very long battery life.
That's excellent. That's 15 hours, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of light. Most people are going to be probably using this light at like 5,000, 8,000 up to 15,000 lumens. So it will run at 40 minutes if you're using the light at its highest output for the entire dive without turning off the light at any moment. Right here is the graph that shows how the lumen test for the 15,000. So you can see that it starts at 15,000 lumen, and if it runs for the whole time, it will stay at the same it will continue to deliver 15,000 lumens. It's not varying throughout the time. For videographers, this is essential because if you're doing any video work underwater, you don't want to have to adjust your lighting while you're, capturing your video. And for photographers, that's also, important because you won't need to consistently, you won't need to change your settings because your light output is changing throughout the dive. So that's very essential.
So do you find that the runtime varies by temperature, or is it about the same? Have you heard of anybody, using it in warm water and finding that it overheats, or has it been pretty good that way?
I never heard about a light that is being used underwater overheating. So yeah, the problem is if you take the underwater light at 15,000 lumens for topside, because the water is cooling the light when you're using it. And this is the Sola Aquaterra kit that I was just going over how to change heads here. This is some of the work that our Stella Pro ambassadors are doing. So they take the same body light just with a different head, and they're doing photo shoots, so many different locations. We have people doing rain dance studios and shooting with these lights because, they're extremely water resistant. For the Stella Pro, I say water resistant because the little vent there is not supposed to be submerged underwater. And of course, doing all the amazing underwater work like Maxwell Home with all the sea lions piled up on top of him over there. One of my favorite shots.
That's a great shot.
This is the testimony of one of our ambassadors, Christina Shirk. She does a lot of topside work and underwater work. She does portraits rather than wildlife photography, and she travels a lot. So quoting her, when I travel on location shoots, I have to pack cameras, dive gear, lights, equipment, and more. Having a single light that can work topside and underwater, a light with exceptional build quality, has made Sola my go-to light for every shoot. So she absolutely loves shooting with this light, and she comes up with like very creative underwater portrait shoots. She also does some wildlife photography as well. This is some of the kits we're going to have available for our holiday specials. So we have the 2500 flood action kit. That's going to be the beginner kit. You can pair up with a GoPro system. It comes with two Sola Video 2500 flood, two chargers, and the tray, and this case. Then we have the second case, which is our intermediate kit that comes with two Sola Video Pro 3800. On the sides here, you can see the LED indicators that I was mentioning earlier, and the two chargers, and the advanced kit, which is the two Sola Video Pro 15,000, the blue domes, and the chargers.
So guys, all of these kits will be available at Bluewater Photo over our Black Friday and holiday, I believe the first week of December. So feel free to go to bluewaterphotostore.com if you're interested in buying any of these kits, or email us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com, and we can help you decide what kit is best for you. And
I'm not going to be running this video right now, but I would highly recommend you check it out. Our ambassador, Jill Heinerth, which is a dive tech explorer, cave diver. She just wrote the book, her amazing book, Into the Planet. And she also goes into extreme environments, with our lights. She does iceberg dives and cave dives, and she did a quick video on you know, what's best for you, strobes or video light. She has some amazing points. One of the things that she mentioned that are, for me, the reason why I shoot with video lights rather than strobes is what you see is what you get. So whenever you have your camera in your hand, you have your light set up in the setting you like, you know, you can see how, if the angle of the light is working, you can see if there's any backscatter reflecting on particles in the water. You see if you need more intensity or if you need to adjust something even before you take the shot. So it's very good for you to manage and to get that shot you really need. Plus, you never miss the moment because it's constant light. So that's one of the great benefits of shooting with constant versus strobes. Oh, and that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to, you know, ask. We can certainly reach out to let you know, responses later.
Yeah, and all of our sales staff at Bluewater Photo should be able to answer any questions you guys might have about Light in Motion.